and this is what I want. Tyler was getting impatient. Do you still not get it? Serena is not the kind of person who would do this herself. What she needs is for us to step up for her. But I shook my head. If this were what Serena wanted, I would have no problem with it, but you said this is your idea. So let me ask, does she love you? Tyler's hand froze mid-sip. That is not the point. Besides, she does not have feelings for you either. I can actually help her, you just hold her back. I am 100 times better for her than you are. You are wrong. I shook my head again. I may not know Serena that well, but I'm confident she would never just take handouts from your father, especially not when the price is marrying you. I did not know Serena that deeply, but the villain from the novel was not someone who could be bought. And honestly, a lot of what went wrong for her was because she refused to bend. Someone like that would never trade her marriage to make a comeback, at least not anytime soon. As for the original guy's marriage to Serena, that was purely about repaying a favor, and Serena accepted it at the time, whether for her grandfather's sake or her own reputation. That was a completely different situation from what Tyler was proposing. You just do not want to let her go. Tyler snapped like someone had stepped on his tail. He blew up. How can you be this selfish? Serena has already been more than fair to you, and now she finally has a shot. And you want to kill it yourself. You make me sick. I make you sick. Well, I have been plenty civil with you. My expression went cold. Forget the fact that you showed up here talking out of line. Anyone watching would think you were trying to break up someone's marriage. Serena and I are the only two people who get to have a say in our marriage. It is none of your business. Fine. Say you are doing this for her sake. You still should not be coming to me about it. Go talk to her. It is not my place to make decisions for her, and I am not going to cling to this marriage forever. She is an adult, and not just any adult. She runs an entire company. When she married me, she had already thought all of this through. She is fine with it. So what is your rush if you want to be with her? Go tell her that, and if you two are on the same page, I will sign the papers without a second thought coming to me about it. It is not going to get you anywhere. Tyler slammed his cup down on the table, furious and breathing hard. Bottom line is, you just refuse to divorce. I nodded. Sure, call it that if you want. With that confirmed, and knowing he had gotten nowhere, Tyler stormed out, not without turning back at the door for one last shot. Mark my words, Serena is going to dump you. Eventually, I put the whole thing out of my head, pulled up the resale page to log addresses and styles, then went to my room to grab the sold bags. Packed everything up and called the courier. Today's shipments needed to go out too. Doing the math, everything sold so far was already over $200,000. Once the buyers received their orders, the money would hit my account. Sell a few more batches and I could put a down payment on a small place, and officially become a homeowner. Just thinking about that, I was suddenly full of energy, did not feel like writing anymore. So I opened the browser and started browsing listings in the area. First property had to be chosen carefully. Just finished lunch and was about to take a nap when Serena suddenly came out of her room. Walked over and sat down on the couch. Tyler came by today. I saved my file and shifted my attention from the screen to Serena. Figuring out what she actually wanted to know, it was not exactly complicated. He basically told me to ask for a divorce and I said no. But if you have feelings for him, we can divorce whenever you want. He also mentioned his father could help you once you get married. I have no attachment to him, and that is not a reason for me to leave you. You handled that well. As for everything else, we can deal with it later. I do not need outside help right now, and his father cannot fix what needs fixing anyway. Got it, same thing, I figured. I nodded. The laptop was already closed. I was thinking about going for a nap. Is there anything else? Serena gave me a curious look. Since when do you nap? I froze for a second. Oh, the original guy was completely nocturnal, and ever since I showed up I had been keeping a normal schedule. Yeah, that is a pretty noticeable change. I just kind of realized my old routine was terrible and was wrecking my health, so I am forcing myself to fix it. Honestly, you should try napping too. You will have more energy in the afternoon and get more done. Serena did not commit to anything either way. Alright, get some rest. She stood and went back to her room, leaving me standing there a little uneasy. Running through whether I had said anything off the original guy kept weird hours. Up all night, sleeping all day, but that was not something I could say out loud. Adjusting your sleep schedule after a major life change though, that is totally normal. Something big hits and you reevaluate. Yeah, that tracks. Inside her room, Serena sat back down at her desk, expressionless, tapping lightly on the surface, lost in thought. After a while, she still seemed unsettled, not quite decided. Then she picked up her phone and made a call. Get me a dishwasher delivered here in the next few days. There are still some things I need to watch before I make any moves for now. Keep things as they are. She hung up and set her phone on the desk. Her eyes drifted to the bed and what I had just said came back to her. Is taking a nap really that great? Before she knew it, she was already lying down. Her whole body seemed to melt into the mattress, and Serena let the corner of her mouth curl. Okay, this does feel pretty good. She had been running nonstop for years. It had been a long time since she had slept without something weighing on her. Before she knew it, it was 2:30. I stepped out of my room and stretched out a big yawn. Splashed some water on my face in the bathroom and came out, just to see Serena walking out of her room looking a little dazed. With that face of hers in that state, she was dangerously pretty. I immediately looked down. Oh wow, is this what she looks like fresh out of a nap? That is not fair, and she is supposed to be a villain. I was thinking all of this, but was not paying attention to my expression. Some of it slipped through and Serena caught it. The look seemed to catch her off guard because she quickly looked away. Are you waiting for the bathroom? No, I am done. It is all yours. I stepped aside fast. Once Serena went in, I shrugged it off and sat back down at the laptop. Ready to get back to writing. The moment I opened it, I had a new friend request. The note said it was an editor from a fiction platform. My hands balled up instinctively. I pumped a little fist. Yes, no question, it had cleared the first review. Though if it had only passed the first round, an editor would not reach out directly like this. Serena heard the commotion from outside and came out right after washing her hands. What happened? My novel just cleared the first review. Once it gets through the second and final review, it starts making money. I was on cloud 9 and just blurted it out without thinking. Serena looked at my eyes, practically begging for praise, and her expression softened just a little. Is that right? Well, congratulations. Thanks to you too, I said with a big grin. Then stopped paying attention to Serena and dove back into my story. Head down, fully in the zone. Serena went back to the bathroom with a slight frown, thinking that no matter how well someone fakes it, you cannot fake a look that pure. The greed, the confusion, the emptiness that used to be in his eyes were all gone. All of it had just disappeared, and for a person to change this completely overnight, to the point of feeling like an entirely different person, nobody could explain that to her. So she stopped thinking about it, finished up, and got ready to head out. She glanced at me before leaving. I was still completely absorbed in my story, smiling to myself, looking genuinely happy. Fine, I will look into it. Serena made up her mind. She did not want to keep wasting time and energy on a question that should have been settled long ago. Look into it, and if he really had turned things around, and was willing to change, then keeping him around was not a problem. He was her husband in name after all, and he had never crossed any real lines. I had no idea what Serena had decided. I was still writing the High One story, had already cleared the first review, and before I even finished celebrating a second one, cleared the first review on another platform. This is what they mean when they say good things come to those who wait. Just thinking about all that money coming my way, I could not stop smiling. The money from selling the stuff never really felt like mine. Serena had bought all of that for the original guy, and now that he was gone, it was really her money, which was exactly why I planned to put the apartment in my own name. Because I knew Serena would not fight me on it, and just in case things went sideways again, we would at least have somewhere to land, and I was not trying to claim the place either. I would pay the mortgage myself, and it would belong to both of us. And if the royalties kept coming in, I could save up and get a second place. I had everything figured out, and was still running through the plan when the elevator doors slid open, and Serena walked out. I was a little surprised. "You are back already, did not take long today," Serena said while swapping her shoes and hanging up her jacket. "By the way, there is a cocktail party in a few days we both need to attend, start getting ready." Serena came in and I immediately tensed up. Would me showing up at a party like that cause problems for you? Just go the few parties I had ever been to. Were basically company year-end events, and half of those were author meetups. As a top writer on my platform, nothing ever went sideways at those things. The site staff always handled everything, so I never had to stress about a thing. Throwing myself into something this high stakes, I was genuinely worried I could not pull it off. "It is fine at this point, nobody can give me any real trouble. And even if they try, it will not amount to much," Serena said like it was nothing. Then casually picked up her cup and poured herself some water. Those words stung a little though. People used to look at Serena with envy, and now walking into a party like this would be a completely different story. The refusal that had been sitting on the tip of my tongue faded, and I nodded. Told her I would get ready, we were married after all. It was time to face things together, even though I was not the original guy, and had not spent her money. I was in his body, so it came out to roughly the same thing. Over the next 2 days, Serena kept leaving early and coming home late, but she ate at home in the mornings and evenings. I got into the habit of making breakfast and dinner for her while spending my days writing and handling sales. I also kept researching how these kinds of parties actually worked, which was a disaster because anyone with the connections and access to attend those high-end events would never be dumb enough to write about it online. So after days of searching, I came up completely empty. I scrolled through the original guy's phone contacts and there were plenty of names. Plenty of people who would know what those parties were like, but they were all just drinking buddies. Nobody he was actually close to and reaching out to them now. Aside from how awkward it would be pretending to be him, they would almost certainly laugh at me. And asking something like that would be way too easy to see through anyway, going through his memories. The original guy had only attended 1 or 2 similar events right after the wedding, and never went to any after that, which was pretty telling. Serena had clearly been keeping him out because she did not want the embarrassment. Not much I could do about it, so I decided to at least figure out what to wear and tackle. That first step, I pulled out a few pieces from the clothes I had not sold. But honestly, I had no idea what I was doing and could not make up my mind. After going back and forth forever, I finally gave up and went to ask Serena. So that evening when Serena walked in, she found that I, who had been glued to the couch writing all week, was not in my usual spot at all. Instead, the moment she heard the door, I was staring straight at her with this intense look on my face. Getting stared at like that out of nowhere was definitely unsettling. What is going on? Why are there so many clothes out? I have not been to a party in so long, I have no idea what to wear anymore. These are the ones I pulled out, the ones I figured were most appropriate. Can you tell me which one works? You always used to pick your own outfits. Serena thought about the results she was still waiting on, and then thought about how the original guy used to act. Back when things shifted suddenly, he got defensive and sensitive. So he insisted on picking his own clothes to protect what little pride he had left. But now he seemed to understand that you are who you are. There is no point being touchy about it. Pretending just makes you look worse. Better to just own what you do not know. Looks like you have got your head on straight, then go ahead, which one works? I honestly cannot decide. I stepped aside and showed Serena the options I had already pre-selected, looking at the understated pieces laid out on the couch. Serena gave a quiet nod, whether he had genuinely changed or had something up his sleeve. At least he was not being completely clueless, not like before when he always picked something outrageous. Like he was walking a runway, making him impossible to take anywhere. She looked everything over and casually pointed to the simplest black suit. That one I immediately realized, that at a party like this things could easily go sideways. Whether you dressed too flashy or too plain, people would find a reason to look down on you. So keeping it low-key was the smart move to avoid drawing attention. Serena picked exactly right, got it, that one it is. Once that was settled, I set that suit aside. The night of the party, there was no driver waiting like in the old memories. This time, Serena drove us herself, and it was the first time I'd ever been in a car with her. Watching the city lights blur past the windows, that feeling of unreality washed over me again. Worried she might bring up something I would not know how to respond to, I deliberately sat in the backseat, but even that did not save me from having to make conversation. Not that either of us had really expected this moment. Serena had never imagined she would one day be driving her husband in name to a party like this in the old days. She would not have even wanted a driver riding along. We arrived at the biggest hotel in the city before long. The valet took the car, and we had barely reached the entrance when someone casually moved to block our path. There stood a slightly overweight man, with greasy hair, a flashily dressed woman on his arm, his face wearing a smile that made his intentions pretty obvious. I could not tell what was going on, so I glanced over at Serena. Serena did not even look up, completely unbothered. The landowner on the east side of town, Guanyuan Group, has been eyeing it closely. Should Mr. Liu not be paying attention to that? The man Serena had called Mr. Liu froze. He had not even gotten a word in and was already shut down, his expression twisted for a second. He looked like he wanted to say something, but also maybe did not. After about 3 seconds of internal debate, he managed, "Ms. Walsh is stunning as ever, what a pleasure, long time no see." Serena did not bother responding. She just steered us around him and kept walking. I could feel Mr. Liu seething behind us. But more importantly, this was the first time I was witnessing Serena's presence up close. I was a little stunned and honestly had no idea what I should be doing. So I just followed Serena into the party the moment we walked in. I recognized several faces from the original guy's memories, people who had been his drinking buddies, all sons of various executives. And none of them were particularly important in their families. Some of them spotted me right away and started heading over with their drinks in hand, but then they saw Serena beside me and quietly backed off. "You are not going over," Serena said, suddenly catching me off guard. I shook my head a few times. No way, why would I walk into that? Not going, it is not like we were ever really close. Just surface level stuff, and now that everything has changed, better to keep our distance. Serena thought her husband in name was not as dumb as she had assumed. She still could not figure out why he used to waste his time with those people. "Since you are not going, then let's keep moving." The two of us walked a little further, and two more couples approached one of the men in front. Was a bit older, maybe around 30. His smile was plastered on in a way that felt completely fake. "Well, look who it is, Miss Walsh. It has been a while, and this must be..." "Sorry, my memory is not what it used to be." Her husband, right, rare to see you two out together like this. "Rough times lately, running low on cash?" "I keep hearing you two are not getting along, but seeing you together right now, that is clearly nonsense." At first I did not pick up on anything, but being someone who had written enough stories, I caught on pretty fast to exactly what he was implying, especially with that disgusting look in his eyes. I genuinely wanted to knock those eyes right out of his head. Serena's gaze went cold. "Long time no see, Mr. Gu. I heard you were bedridden for a while. Glad to see you are back on your feet. Smart people learn from their mistakes. But some people just cannot help themselves, Mr. Gu, you know what I mean?" His expression soured for a split second, then he plastered the smile back on. True, but some holes that used to be traps are now gold mines, and when you spot something valuable, naturally, everyone wants a piece. I am sure Ms. Walsh understands what I mean, by the way. I heard you have hit a few bumps in business lately. We have known each other a long time. So let me offer a friendly reminder. Wealth is not always about money. Sometimes it comes in the form of people. This guy was clearly insinuating something. "Sis, why are you here?" "Hey, just passing through." I heard Serena speak behind me and turned around. To find a very stylishly dressed young woman walking over, she noticed me and visibly paused, but only gave me a quick once-over before her attention went straight to Serena. I knew exactly who this was. She was the youngest of Serena's close group of friends. The hottest celebrity in the country right now, Zoe Zhou, and also the one who had been most vocal about thinking Serena had wasted herself marrying me. "What are you two doing standing here? My sister is not someone you get to just walk up and talk to. Does your family have no manners whatsoever?" She was absolutely the most savage one of the group. One sentence had the two of them looking even worse than when they first saw her. "Why are you still standing there waiting for an invitation? I am not as patient as my sister." The two of them said nothing, nodded and turned to leave immediately. "Sis, you really? If you were coming, you could have just come. Why bring him along? And if you were bringing him, at least give me a heads up. Those two idiots had the nerve to come at you like that. You are way too patient with people. It is fine, they are just clowns. But what about you? You never come to these things. Why are you here tonight?" Zoe rolled her eyes and her tone had a surprising hint of something almost pouty. "I was worried you might run into some people who do not know their place. I had my manager clear my whole schedule just to be here. And honestly, good thing I showed up. Who knows what those two would have pulled otherwise." Then she turned and looked at me, studying me carefully. I glanced down at myself. Everything looked fine. Ran a hand through my hair, also fine. Then looked back at her right as she finished her inspection, and hit me with a look of mild disdain, given that you actually looked out for my sister tonight. "I will let you off the hook, but given where my sister is right now, you are not getting another cent out of her, so drop the act. Just walk away already." I smiled awkwardly. I could have argued back with almost anyone else, but this was Serena's person. "Easy, we are still married." Serena stepped in to cut her off, but did not say much more, just, "Come on, let's go sit down." Zoe rolled her eyes. "Fine. I will come with you two then," with Zoe there. Whatever Serena had originally planned for the evening had to be put on hold. Among Serena's friends, Zoe was the youngest, and the most straightforward compared to the others who were more calculated. Being the youngest also meant the whole group tended to be a bit protective of her. She wore every emotion on her face, and between that honesty and her connections behind the scenes, most people knew better than to mess with her. The ones here who had dared approach Serena were really just the few clueless ones. Everyone else, no matter how ambitious, knew that Serena was not someone to underestimate even after a setback. She could always come back, and it simply was not worth provoking someone who had only just stumbled. A sinking ship still has plenty of nails holding it together, and Serena had spent years keeping the entire family in check. You would have to be out of your mind to push her. With Zoe sitting right there, no one else came anywhere near us. Everyone with half a brain at this party knew Zoe was not someone to provoke. She was the type who would go scorched earth without a second thought when she got mad. I had expected to be dealing with one awkward moment after another tonight. But before long, Serena was already ready to leave. Zoe tried to get her to stay for something. Serena turned her down, and from start to finish, aside from those first three people, everyone else had done nothing more than exchange a brief hello with Serena and then kept their distance. I honestly could not figure out what Serena had even come here to accomplish. Sitting in the car, I thought back to the original guy's memories. He had always hated these parties. There used to be crowds of people swarming around Serena the whole night, but now compared to that, with no one but Zoe having come close all evening, I looked at Serena up front driving, and thought there was something quietly lonely in the way she sat. I hesitated for a full 3 minutes, before working up the nerve to say something. "Did you get what you came for tonight?" Serena was caught off guard by that and thought about the moment I had stepped in front of her. Her voice came out quieter, more to herself than to me, I suppose so. She had not really done anything, and yet she was saying she got what she came for. I knew I was way out of my depth when it came to how people like her operated. Maybe she was there to prove that she was still standing, that she had not completely fallen apart. Though surely she was not that simple. She had been raised with the best of everything, educated by the finest minds around. Since she did not seem happy, I figured I would try. to bring up something worth feeling good about, so I sold off all those bags and clothes. And we have got a little bit of money now with the way we are living these days. We do not really need that much to get by. And since all the assets are cleared out, and we are debt-free, I was thinking maybe we could buy a small place. Put down a down payment now, and I will use my royalties to handle the rest. Keep 6 months of living expenses aside for emergencies.